What's going on, everybody? DStyleBoxing here. Thanks to those joining me live. For those that'll be joining me on archive, don't forget to thumbs up the video whether you're watching archive or live. Okay, I'll be going to chat momentarily. So before, look, this is what I always do. I come on here, I say what I'm going to say, right? And I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and then we'll go from there, right? Because it never fails. Every single time I come on here, every single time, and I do a boxing video, there's always that one person, okay, that posts something, right? And then this is what they say. They go, this is what they say. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're ignoring me. You're ducking my question." Like, no. Like we're calm down, right? Because I know this is going to be a very sensitive topic to a lot of people, but it's all good, right? But anyway, let's wait a little bit. If anybody wants to jump on, I'm not looking for drama, by the way, but if anybody wants to jump on and talk, let me know, okay? I got some time tonight, right? Let's talk some boxing on a Sunday night, okay? By the way, in case you want to know my prediction, because everybody, I want to know your prediction! Like what prediction? Tell me what prediction. Crawford versus Horn, and, Crawford's going to beat his ass. Like it's not a hard fight. It's not a hard fight to pick, right? NVT boxing, it's not a hard fight, bruh. Right? I'm not shaking on my boots like making that pick. It's an easy pick. It's an easy fight to pick, right? A lot of these fights are easy to pick. They're not that hard, right? They're not that hard to predict. But anyway, what about Lipinitsa versus Mikey Garcia? That's an easy fight to pick. Mikey's gonna whoop that ass, and then Lomachenko will get it next, right? Right. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk some boxing here. This is kind of a reply to blood boxing. Listened to this video earlier, most of it, while I was in the morning running errands and stuff. Interesting stuff. I commented in the chat even when I wasn't driving, but check this out. So look, so it's just I don't promote texting and driving, people, right? So DStyle was not driving. He was parked, right, when he was typing in the chat, right? And anybody listening to this, if you're driving, do not post in the chat, all right? And nobody gonna die while you're listening to DStyle trying to post in the chat. No. Right? Anyway, I don't even know what the point of that is, but there you go. I want to talk about this whole, and I've touched on this in the past, but I have some new subscribers, so fuck it. I forgot what the number was. To be honest, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what the number is. But this whole Mayweather is the best of all time because he beat like 20 some odd quote unquote world champions. Like what? Oh, okay. Interesting. So let's talk about that. Now, if you think Floyd Mayweather is the best of all time, you are entitled to that opinion. I completely disagree with you. But if that's what you think, that's fine. But when I ask you why, if the reason you give me is not a very good reason, then I'm going to say, just stick to saying that because you've seen him fight and you think he could beat anybody. Just say that. I'm saving you a lot of time. Just say that, right? But let's do this. But it beat 25. I forgot the number. What's the number? Huh? What the fuck's the number? 25, 20, 28? I don't even know. Okay, I don't even know. I don't know what the number is. Okay, but this is what they say that he beat, and Mayweather himself has said this, and this is why a lot of these guys are parroting it because they're a bunch of parrots. Okay, that's what they are. They just parrot whatever because Fight Hype because Fight Hype said it. So. You know, it's one of those things that when you first hear it, like if I go to the bar right now, okay, and I just randomly tell somebody Mayweather beat 25 world champions, more than anybody in history, that might fool some people, like sure, but you're not gonna fool me. Oh, he beat 20, like, so tell me he, like, all the dudes he beat. By the way, if anybody knows the number, give me the number. I don't know what the number is. Okay, I don't. And the reason I'm not going to go out of my way to look for it, it's irrelevant. It honestly is. But this whole, like, he beat this X amount of world champions, therefore he's better. He beat more world champions than anybody in history. Like, what? This is a fake record, right? It doesn't, honestly. All right, I know. Oh, you're just hating. No, okay, fine. Okay, all right. If that's the best comeback somebody's gonna have, okay. All right, fine. Okay, I'm hating. Oh, okay. But no, it's a fake record. It's not a real record. It's just something that it's just like a quote unquote fact that, you know, populated and then they used it. All right. Kind of like when they say so and so beat so many Hall of Famers. Well, what does that mean now? They're putting dudes like Arturo Gatti in the Hall of Fame. Well, what does that mean, right? I mean, we have to not just look at numbers. That's not what you do with numbers. You don't look at numbers. You look into the numbers, right? So the numbers don't lie. The most, you know, world champions than anybody in history, right? Like, damn. 25 world champions. Holy shit, bro. Like, really? Now, first of all, here's the first problem with this record, okay? He didn't uncrown 25 world champions. Right? That's problem number one, like right off the bat. The record is tallying in not just people that were champions when they fought Mayweather, but that were a world champion at some point in their career. Well, that's kind of weak. What? Like they include Andre Berto on that record. Like, why? Because Andre Berto was the WBC champion at one point. Well, that's dumb. What? So that's the first, like right off the bat, that's the first flaw, right? The first flaw, like right out of the gate, it's not even like not all of these 20 some odd dudes were world champion when he fought them in the ring, right? They were a world champion at one point in their career. Like, that's the first problem with this damn joke of a record. Okay, that's the first problem with it. Problem number two, right? You guys want to talk about numbers and how the numbers don't lie and all this shit, right? Okay, you're right. Numbers don't lie. So we have more divisions than ever, right? That's what the numbers tell me. If you know how to count, all you got to do is know how to count. Like, DStyle's not going to ask you to do calculus tonight, guys. Okay, don't worry about it. If you know how to count to, 30, you're safe. And I know you could count to at least 30 because you sure know how to count the world champions, okay, that Floyd Mayweather has beaten. Very misleading statement when not all those guys were actually champion when he fought them. They were just a champion at some point in their career. Oh, bro, that's fucking weak, bro. Okay, what a weak record, right? All right. Also, we have more titles in each division than ever before. All you got to do is count. You can count them in one hand at least, right? Sometimes you got to use both hands to count, right? Let's count with DStyle. 1, WBC. 2, WBO. 3, IBF. Right? With me? I don't think I said WBA. Right? That's 4. And then there's WBA regular. That's 5. Right? Interim champions, 6. See, I told you I was going to use more than 2 fucking hands. Didn't DStyle tell you I was going to use more than 2 fucking hands? That's right. right? Anyway, I bet you they're like, no, it's just 4. Like they put their hands up like the fucking 4 horsemen, right? So the numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. You're right. And I just gave you some numbers that matter, right? So basically, because Floyd Mayweather fought from 130 to 154, technically, right? So he fought from the 130-pound weight class to the 154-pound weight class, right? Each weight class could have up to 6 world champions at any given time, meaning if you were to, if we look at the numbers, okay, if we take a very conservative effort, I mean, you look at 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, and in the title that swings over time, you look at the amount of time that Mayweather was boxing, off and on, of course, okay, you would have hundreds of fighters that at some point of their career were a world champion that Mayweather could pick from, okay, to pat this so-called record, okay, that everybody's touting right now. That's what the numbers tell me, all right? Since you want to talk about the numbers don't lie. Oh, the numbers don't lie. Where a guy like Muhammad Ali, all right, who, yeah, he fought some former world champions. You see, he fought some former world champions or whatever and stuff like that, but he didn't have like hundreds to pick from. Okay, like what this, what? Like, come on, like what? This is what I don't get. And people will be like, "What? But there was the WBC, the WBA at the time too," as if it compares to the mess that we have today. As if he had 4 or 5 divisions to work with. It wasn't the same, and everybody knows it. Okay, sit down. But here's my thing, all right? The numbers don't lie, right? How many title defenses did Floyd Mayweather have for those titles that he won? He didn't win. You see, the misleading part about this record is that they make it seem like Mayweather beat 23 or however many it is dudes for a title. That's not what he did, right? They weren't reigning world champions when he fought them. Not all of them. I think a majority of them weren't. Many of them were. But anyway, that aside, Ali didn't have that luxury. He couldn't just pick and choose like, oh my God, look at all these world champions to pick from. I'm going to fight this one. Like, that's not the way it worked. He actually had a number 1 contender, right? Now, in all reality, given all the bouts that there are today, essentially, the 4 title holders are really like the number 1 to number, 3 contender, other than yourself, right? Because let's say he's a champion as well. To make it more accurate, I mean, you would have to count, like, give Ali credit for, because it's just to be more accurate, you would have to give Ali credit for we would have to, like, and obviously you can't do this, but because they didn't have so many world titles back then, but it's kind of like Ali fighting the number 1 contender, number 2 contender, number 3 contender, and giving him credit for, even if he fought somebody that wasn't the number 1 contender at the time, but if he was the number 1 contender at some point of his career, okay, you got to give him credit for that. That is ridiculous. That is stupid. Nobody would do that. I mean, the most fake record ever, man. It's it's the most made up record imaginable. Now, if you want to say it as a Wikipedia fact, that's what we call them nowadays, Wikipedia fact, right? It just has like a little anecdote, like if you want to make a meme, like, did you know that Mayweather beat so many guys that at some point of their career were a world champion? Okay, you could do that. But to like tout it off as if that's proof that he's the best of all time is beyond laughable. It's laughable. And I'm helping a lot of you out. Don't do that to yourselves. Like, you're making yourselves look foolish. It is laughable. Just saying. Now I can look at the chat. All right? Mayweather still not the greatest as King. Your mother's ring hole. Okay, wow. Okay, King says it's the only way Connor's fans can rationalize the loss. Okay. Mr. Boxing today, I think he beat 23 guys who were former or current at the time title holders. Not 100% sure, though. There you go. King says they need those former world champs as stand-ins. Marlenia says Sugar Ray Robinson had 202 fights, 202 training camps. Wow. King says the money belt, LOL. Grape drank, but DStyle, you don't understand. Floyd beat UFC champion too. No boxer has done that. That's actually not true. Well, actually, let me think about that. That's not true. By that logic, I mean, everybody knows Ray Mercer, okay, knocked out former UFC heavyweight champion. I mean, we're counting formers. Formers matter, right? So Ray Mercer did that weight, and he did a much quicker job. Ray Mercer did it the way you're supposed to do it, right? Tim Silva thought he could box with him, and Ray Mercer showed him that he ain't gonna do shit. Put him to sleep right away, right? There was no struggling involved. There was no carrying him involved. None of that. Boom, 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 you're done. Night, night, okay? So everybody knows Ray Mercer did it better than Floyd. And Ray Mercer did it barefoot in a fucking cage, too, right? Mr. Boxer today, some of those Robinson fights were literally 2 weeks apart, no matter how brutal the fight before was. Prodigy says, but DStyle, you don't understand. He's 50-0, man. Merlin says, you're right. Different type of guys in those times. Being a workhorse was common in all professions back in the day. These guys now duck fights when they know they need money. So here's my thing, right? And I hope everybody understands where I'm going to go with this. Or I hope everybody appreciates it. By the way, those watching, make sure you thumbs up the video. Check it out. I'm going to be honest, right? I don't want to go back to the days where guys are boxing every 2 weeks. That's not what I want to do, right? But I want to get away from the days where guys are just fighting once a year, right? So I'm not asking today's fighters to fight every other week or once a month. But, 3 times a year, is that too much to ask? 3 times a year? Can they not fight 3 times a year? Like, I'm not asking every other week. I'm not asking every 6 weeks, every month. I'm literally just asking for 3 fights a year. That's it. There's some of these dudes that they fight once a year. I'm like, what's going on? A lot of shit, it's not going to answer a lot of these questions that we have if they're fighting once a fucking year. So I've always said, and if you want to go 4, that's fine. But 3 times a year, come on. All right? At least. Is that too much to ask? Like, I know it's a dangerous sport. And here's the other thing, man. And I see this with a lot of fighters today. I do, man. And like, everybody knows that those. But fighters more than ever, okay? Like, it's ridiculous. Talking about their health, like, all the time, man. Oh, my health. I got to worry about my health. And it's just stuff like that. Man, they picked the wrong profession, bro. Like, then what are you doing boxing then? Like, if you don't want to get hurt at all, if you don't want to take any chances, then why are you boxing? You picked the wrong profession. You should be doing something else. Go do something else. Seriously. If you pick boxing as your profession, then the fans get to demand you to fight other fighters. That's the way it is. Like, oh, these fans will get to tell me what to do. I'm the one that goes in there and puts my life on the line. They're always bringing up their life and their livelihood and their health, and trying to guilt fans into not asking them to fight other fighters. Like, more than ever. It's insane. Constantly hearing about, I don't want to, I want to end my career well intact. Really? So that's why you're fighting once a fucking year? Bruh. Then just retire then. If you don't want to take any more punches or you don't want to take any more punishment, then don't box then. Then you're in the wrong profession. Okay, now look, I'm not saying that I want to see these fighters punch drunk, and that's the reason I said I don't want to see guys fight every 2 weeks. It is inhumane to have people do that. Okay, but at the same time, all right, we have to acknowledge, all right, that these fighters, back in the day, right, were fucking warriors, man. You have to admire that. They weren't aware of a lot of the things that we're aware of today, okay? But they did a lot less crying than these fighters do today, okay? And they went through a lot worse shit. So again, I'm not asking them to fight every other week, but if you pick boxing, it's kind of like an NFL player now wanted to play all 16 regular season games. Hey man, like they drafted you as a lineman. What do you mean you don't want to play all 16 games? Yeah, but it's dangerous. I'm gonna get head trauma. Well, we hope you don't get brain trauma, and if you sustain an injury, they'll keep you out of the games and stuff like that. They'll have you examined, but you did sign up for 16 games. No, but it's dangerous. Who are you to tell me what to do? Like, I'm only gonna play 10 games. Okay, so that's how I feel about these boxers. Like, they're not active enough, and then when people ask them, "Hey, why don't you fight him, man?" Boxing is a very dangerous sport, man. They're like telling us things like we don't know. Newsflash. That's why we like it, because it's a violent sport. Okay, yeah, because there's blood involved, and because people can knock the fuck out. Yeah, that's one of the reasons people watch boxing. That's why people watch fighting. It's the profession you signed up for. If you don't want to do it, nobody's forcing you. But get the fuck out of the way then. Retire. Go away. Let somebody else that does want to do it take your spot. How about that? And you see it more than ever now on Twitter too. Like, oh, all these fans, they don't understand. That this is a dangerous sport. Like, what? We do understand, right? We understand fully, actually, right? But at the end of the day, you signed up for it. No boxer that I know of in the world was forced into boxing, right? It's what they signed up for. It's not a lot to ask that they are, active. It's not a lot to ask. No, but my health, and then they always bring up their health, and this is something I co-sign. 78 says this all the time. It's true, right? Every time you bring up a name that they don't want to hear, they start talking about their fucking health. Man, that's fucking fear. That smells like fear to me. My health is code word for, I don't want to fight that dude, because they're only concerned about their health, okay, when it pertains to them. Now, the dudes that they're beating up, and because they get an easy touch instead of fighting real competition, they don't care about that person's health, okay, conveniently enough, but they want to lecture everybody about how dangerous a sport is, right? You got freaking Danny Garcia's dad out there like, yeah, man, my son Danny, Danny's in a dangerous sport, man. This is fucking war. These fans don't understand. He's putting his life on the line for them. My son has had so many fights, and he's put his life on the line for these unappreciative fans, man. Like, shut up, right? He signed a contract and he got paid money to do it, right? We don't owe any of these fighters anything. We don't owe them shit, right? Hey, but my son Danny. Shut up, okay? Shut up. What's the name of that dude that you brought up from fucking, what was it, from lightweight or some shit? That was clearly out of his league, that your son knocked the fuck out. You weren't concerned about his health, man. Shut up. That's my Angel Garcia voice. Which I wouldn't be doing that a lot. Let me see. Let me go back. All right. Martinez says those guys now duck fights when they know they need money. Prodigy, but D-Style, you don't understand. ESPN told me he was the greatest of all time, man. Yeah. They did that in the segment where Floyd Mayweather called himself the best of all time, right? Floyd does this thing where he glosses through people's resumes, which, like he does it to Ali all the time. Right? Like he'll start with a compliment, right? Whenever Floyd starts with a compliment, he's going to end it with a backhanded compliment. Or he's going to go with a backhanded compliment and then he's going to gloss over their career. Now, I could sit here for an hour and go over Muhammad Ali's incredible resume. Dude has an unbelievable resume. But according to Floyd, okay, Muhammad Ali's career goes like this. Well, there's nothing cool about, getting against the ropes and taking punishment, for 8 fights, the rope of dope. And they're just, and then he lost to a guy with 8 fights. It's just, if that's the best of all time, then, I guess. That is his recap. Okay, that's, according to him, he's better than Ali because of that. Right? Like that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Also, this idea that Muhammad Ali totally Homer Simpsoned it, okay? And for those that don't know, Homer Simpson, when he would just take punishment, and then when the guy would get tired, he would just knock him out. Like, Floyd makes it seem like that's what Ali did. That's not what he did in the rope of dope, okay? No, he took some punishment, of course, all right? But obviously, if he was taking a lot of punishment, he would have gotten knocked the fuck out, right? But anyway, I digress. Let me see. Well, what else I got here? By the way, those watching, thumbs up the video. Martinez says you're right. Different style of guys in those times. Being a workhorse was common in all professions back in the day. I think I went through that actually. Grape Drank, 60 years from now, can you imagine if someone goes on BoxRec and see that Floyd beat someone who made their pro debut at number 50? Yeah, exactly. Marlenius, a champion. Mayweather wants to mock Ali because he lost a decision, right, to a guy with 8 fights. Now, he doesn't tell you that it stinks, right? He doesn't tell you that. Like, he doesn't tell you the amateur pedigree that this guy had or anything like that, as if it doesn't matter, right? Okay, fine. And never mind the fact that Ali righted that and he wanted a rematch. Never mind that Ali had already had a stellar career and was not in his prime anymore at that point. Never mind all that. Mayweather went 10 rounds with Conor. He went 10 rounds with a dude that we cannot find his amateur record, okay? And he never had a professional fight. He went 10 rounds. Now, do I believe he carried him? Yes. But at the end of the day, he didn't take care of him the way he was supposed to take care of him. Now you have a bunch of delusional Conor McGregor fans that believe that he legitimately was hanging in there with Mayweather for 10 rounds. That's what you have now. But hey, that's a perception he left. That's on him, right? It took him 8 rounds to defeat a guy making his professional debut. Marlenius, a championship fight once a quarter. Sounds about right to me. NBT boxing, but D-Style, you don't understand. Jeff Horn is the champion, man. Jeff Horn's gonna get his ass whooped, bro. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. Okay, King, hard work, dedication. Okay, Prodigy, but D-Style, you don't understand. He beat. Is that Pacquiao? What you were gonna say? Prodigy, Pacquiao, man. Prodigy. We're in the Pacification era of sports and entertainment. Well, there you go. Great Drag, boxing isn't all that dangerous as long as you are skilled and have good defense. Well, I disagree with it. It's not that dangerous, but I get your point. King, defend or vacate. Told you, last 10 seconds of a round, 12, they pretend they start fighting. Great Drag, football and rugby are a lot more dangerous than boxing. You can make an argument for that, yeah. But I can't concur, I can't disagree, or I can't disagree with you, and I can't agree with you because I don't know the facts behind that, right? You might have the facts in front of you, I don't. So, but it doesn't sound ridiculous to say that. It sounds, like something that could be true. That it may very well be more dangerous. King, it's either you love it or you don't. Tony G, I want to see a real fighter like Marvin Hagler. Shout out to Marvin Hagler, by the way. Prodigy, if someone says, you don't understand, that means they don't understand. Prodigy, soccer is for pussies. Hey, man, I like soccer, right? Marlenius, you can get penalized in football or rugby. Neck down. These boxers need to pull the panties out of their blah, blah, blah. King, all sports is mad, but boxing is like an art. The sweet science, he says. Prodigy, cricket is probably more dangerous. Mr. Boxing Today, by the way, shout out to Mr. Boxing Today. If you're not subscribed to Mr. Boxing Today, right, you don't know what you're missing, man, right? All right, Angel didn't care about Salka's health. That's the name, right? Salka. I think I called him Silka. But anyway, he didn't give a shit about Salka's health at all, right? Great Jack, puts their life on the line, soldiers and firefighters. Yep. Could you imagine a firefighter being like they don't want to do their job? Hey man, you gotta go in there and save that kid. Hey man, it's dangerous. Okay, I gotta think about my health. Now, is he lying when he says it's dangerous that he could die? Well, no, he's not lying. Okay, but it's the profession he signed up for. Like, if he don't want to do it, he shouldn't have signed up. Like, what? It's not that complicated. Like, I understand if someone does not, like me, I don't want to be a firefighter. So guess what? I didn't apply. I didn't pursue a career as a firefighter because I don't want to do that. I fear fire. I'm gonna keep it real. I would suck as a firefighter. All right? That's just the reality. So I'm not going to sign up for that because I wouldn't do the job. I'm not going to say, oh, but my health. And cops, says Prodigy. Yeah, the problem with the cops, though, is that they just shoot whoever they want and they use the excuse that they were scared for their life. And they always get away with it, right? No matter what. Like, are you shitting me? That can't be the excuse all the time, man. Like, come on, right? So you asked him to pull out his wallet? Yeah. So he shot him when he reached for his wallet? Yeah. What if it was a gun? What if it was a gun? I saw there's a video montage on you can find it on social media. Guys do it all the time. They pull out a gun on cops and they shoot them. You don't know. You don't know. I couldn't take a chance. I was in fear for my life. Anyway, we're not going to turn this into a cop video. Mr. Boxing today, my health is co-order for not fighting that guy anytime soon. I agree. Marlene says, LOL, Borges production, your impressions are flawless. NBT boxing, Ali only fighting one weight class though. Yeah, man. Floyd only fight in one weight class. That's what you don't understand, DStyle. If you know what I'm talking about, you know that he only fight in one weight class. I could see it on BoxRec. One weight class, DStyle. One. If he was a real fighter, he would be a 6th division world champion, undefeated in all divisions. But Ali isn't a real fighter like Floyd. If he wanted to beat 24 world champions, he could have done it. He just had to fight in the non-existent 6 divisions that Ali could have fought in for the non-existent 4 sanctioning bodies with multiple championships that they have. He could have done that totally, DStyle. MBT boxing, Mayweather rope-a-doped Maidana for the first 5 rounds and couldn't stop him like Ali. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that, actually. Mayweather has, to a certain degree, maybe not for as long, but incorporated the technique of the rope-a-dope. He has. He's gone against the ropes and had guys, punch themselves out, and he's done that, right? Not with a guy like Foreman, but he's done it, right? Prodigy, fuck Robert Whitaker for getting, quote-unquote, injured. Grave Drank. Ali's resume is greater than Floyd. Tommy somewhat Mayweather beat on the caliber of Foreman, Sunday listener Frazier. But Grave Drank, you don't understand, Grave Drank. He fought that giant Diego Corrales. Okay, well, I'm not going to go there, man. I like Diego Corrales. And that was a great win by Floyd, but you know what always gets me? I still won't. I forgot who the YouTuber was. I forgot who it was, but he compared. And look, I was a Diego Corrales fan. Okay. God bless Diego Corrales. Rest in peace. Okay, I have all the respect for Diego Corrales, and I have, that victory by Mayweather was a thing of beauty. But I saw a video where a dude was comparing Diego Corrales to Thomas Hearns. And bruh, why? Because they're tall for their division? What? I don't know, man. It was ridiculous. All right, saying that Mayweather would do to Hearns, like what he did to Corrales. What? Okay, sure he would. Marlene Ali is the people's champ. Floyd is a social media champ. Tony G, Ali was the greatest. Stunner 187. What do you think about Canelo and handpicked judges? Lara, Trout, GGG. Well, look, man, I don't know if there's a causation behind the fact that there's always these weird decisions in Canelo fights, but there's definitely a correlation for sure, and it's definitely very suspect. I'll just say that. Okay. King says both Sugar Rays would have killed Floyd. Now, before somebody comes on here and be like, "Why would you say that? You're advocating for murder." All right, it's a figure of speech. He's saying he would beat their ass. Okay, calm down. They're not saying that Sugar Ray Leonard's gonna go get an AK. He's not gonna go buy a Glock and shit and go shoot Mayweather. Okay, it's not gonna happen. All right, relax. MBT said the same thing about Pacquiao. Mr. Boxing today. Floyd acts as if Foreman just, quote unquote, got tired and laid down. Spinks won a gold medal and literally had 150 KOs as an amateur. Also, Ali clearly was suffering from Alzheimer's. Right, exactly. I don't know. Did he have Alzheimer's then? At that point? Maybe there was signs or something, but maybe you saw interviews of his or something. But Jamie Chavez, you ever notice fighters from Mexico are deemed as punching bags, yet I've never seen one that is punch drunk. Trying to think, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but it doesn't mean that there's no, like, we want to be careful with some of these statements. Like, it doesn't mean that there's no such thing as a Mexican fighter that suffered. I mean, well, actually, look at Brandon Rios, right? Have you heard Brandon Rios talk? I mean, he's not from Mexico, but he's of Mexican heritage. But he's the first guy I thought about, right? But and of course, he wasn't born in Mexico either. I believe he was born in Kansas, I think. But Victor Ortiz, look at him. Look at Victor. Look at what Maidana did to poor little Victor Ortiz. Dude, bro, yo, I'm like, I was like in the ring, right? And Floyd hit me with the right hand, bro. And I was like, what? And then I let him hit me again, bro. And I was like, what? And then so I was like, okay, all right. And then I let him hit me again. I'm like, what? This guy don't hit hard at all, man. You know what's going on right here? Like that's fucking freaking Victor Ortiz, bro. Right? Right. So anyway, and I swear to God, he said that. That's maybe not word for word, but I think he was like on Undisputed or something when he said. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Right? Like anyway. Mr. Boxing Today, I do like Floyd, but he says ridiculous shit, man. Yeah. You ever notice Floyd has like this thing where he can't concentrate on one question, right? He always he loses track of what he's talking about like 2 sentences in, and he reverts to like the same old shit all the time, right? Like Floyd, answer me this question, Floyd. You know the fight hype dude. He like pumps him up, right? He's like, "What's up, Floyd? Hey, Floyd, can you tell us why you're the best of all time, Floyd? Because we all admire, we all love your work, Floyd. And I'm totally kissing your ass because you know that I'm not going to criticize you because I want these exclusive interviews. You know what I'm talking about, Floyd? How about those hard hitting questions that fight hype asked Floyd, huh? Like, man, those hard hitting questions. I don't know who asks harder questions. Fox News for freaking Donald Trump or Fight Hype for Floyd. I don't know. I don't know who asks tougher questions, right? Who asks tougher questions? Rachel Maddow on MSNBC to Barack Obama or Ben Thompson for Fight Hype to Floyd? I have no idea, man. I mean, such hard-hitting questions. Martinez Floyd said he was better than Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson. Well, and he's entitled to his opinion, all right? But if you're gonna put yourself at that level, then you're gonna criticize their resumes, we're gonna criticize yours. It's fair game. It's fair games. And when he says something like, sure, when he tells Fight Hype, okay, I want 25 world type championships, or hell, even if he tells like a Stephen A. Smith, right? He doesn't question Floyd. He just goes along with it, right? Even the Max Kellerman isn't going to question him. Maybe he'll point it out at some, because Max Kellerman should know better, right? But he's not going to question him in the middle of the interview. But when Floyd says something like, I don't know, I'm the best of all time because the reality is that I am the future sports of and entertainment because you see at the end of the day I got the most money. Okay, I got all the pay-per-view records and I beat the most world champions. So and I never took no punishment. So there's nothing cool about being not being able to talk and all that, because stuttering, is not a good thing, because I got the most pay-per-view, I make the most money, I won the most world championships, I beat the most world champions than anybody, You know, so Floyd. Floyd. Yeah, you beat everybody, Floyd. Yeah, everything you say is true, Floyd. Yeah, Floyd. Oh, man, these hard-hitting interviews. You know what I would say to Floyd? Well, first of all, how many of those world champions that you beat were reigning world champions when you fought them, Floyd? How many of them were former world champions, Floyd? How many of them were legitimate champions, Floyd? Come on, Floyd. Are you really adding Andre Barrett to the list of your to the list to prove that you're the best ever, Floyd? Are you going to add Conor McGregor too because he was a UFC world champion? Are we going to do that, Floyd? Anyway, moving on. Great track. Floyd only diss Legend because he's insecure about his legacy. Well, it could be. Floyd said he was better than Ali Sugar Robinson and Marlenius. I respect Floyd's boxing skill, but he sound like a senior sometimes. King says resisting. Prodigy, did anyone feel like Conor and Floyd actually hated each other during the build-up? I didn't. I felt like Conor was trying hard to shit talk Floyd. Those dudes laughed it all the way to the bank, bro. What's up, Blood Boxing? Blood Boxing returns in the building. Okay, what's good, Blood? By the way, those watching, make sure you hit the thumbs up, all right? Grape Drank, yo. All right, Blood Boxing saying what's up to NBT. Mr. Boxing today says what's up to Blood. Blood as official taking over the chat. All right, no, just kidding. Okay, what's good, Mr. Boxing today? Run loud coming soon, LOL. All right. All right, let's see here. Marlene says, sup, Blood? Did you ever do the last B-Hop video? All right. I don't know. He hasn't yet. Okay, Jamie Chavez. I feel like Conor was trying to punk Floyd during the tour. I think the one that got punked, if anybody, was Conor. Danny is dead. Thomas Hearns would sleep Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s little punk ass. All right, Mr. Boxing today. Karate's compared to Thomas Hitman Hearns. Oh my damn! In the Tommy or from Martin voice. Okay. B-Hop has let a lot of people down. Used to be a big B-Hop fan. I always respect his boxing career myself. Mr. Doc, someone seriously compared Corrales to Hearns. Yeah, they did. Right. I feel forced. I didn't feel like they hated each other. Conor sort of became a parody of himself. Floyd was doing what Floyd does, his prodigy. All right. Marlenius Lau versus Foreman was a war. Yep. The NBT boxing. But Mr. Bach, you don't understand. You're radical. LOL by Blood Boxing. Mr. Boxing today says, I know he started showing signs in the late 70s, but pre-Holmes fight, it was just outright sad, man. Yeah, the fact that Holmes fight happened was definitely a shame, right? That shouldn't have happened. Jamie, I know you meant guys from Mexico, not Chicanos. I get it. I know, but I'm sure there's fighters in Mexico that have some form of that they're punch drunk or stuff, but I'm sure there is, but I get what you mean. A lot of the high profile ones, I get what you mean. Grape Drank, you a full MBT, you're right. Blood Boxes, I heard Ortiz has $1 million taco business. Hey, bro, every time I eat a taco, bro, everybody says they're like, oh, hey, these tacos are so good, man. And I'm like, yo, right? Ortiz said, I don't deserve getting beat up like this. My dad will give Ortiz a beating. That's what Ortiz said. They don't deserve to get beat up like that. And I said, okay, get the fuck out of the sport then. Prodigy, River Floyd can't read for shit. Well, I went over that. I'm not going to attack him for that. But Mr. Doc, when Victor Ortiz started singing Rock You Like a Hurricane in the middle of an interview before Bear rematch, pure gold. Hey, bro. I don't remember that interview, but maybe I'll replay it right now. Hey, bro. Yo, I'm like, I'm just ready for this fight, man. And everybody's like, yo, that he could beat you. I'm like, what? I'm like, here I am. I'm like, rock you like a hurricane. You know what I'm saying? All right, anyway. That's probably why he can't answer a question. All right. Borges Production, why do you think Charlie Zenloff, he has a mental problem? That's what I think about Charlie Z. All right. Mr. Boxing today, Charlie Z is clinically crazy. I bet he wouldn't be talking about people's children anymore. Yeah, probably not. All right. Heavyweights are great, says Stunna. Mr. Doc says Zelenoff versus McGregor, license to print money. Hey, they could do that fight. Stunna 187, get Mayweather and make him fight Ali. See what happens. What, Saddam Ali? Like, what do you mean? All right. Marlene is 76. Lennox Lewis is the last great heavyweight. I would agree in terms of what I believe the word great is, but I don't know, man. I think Vladimir Klitschko was a great fighter, in my opinion. Vitaly was great, in my opinion, too. So, but I don't have an issue with propping up Lennox Lewis. I was a big Lennox Lewis fan. Son says heavyweights don't go up in weight. They're top of the mountain. Okay, I get what you mean now. Yeah. Heavyweights aren't about pound for pound. They're about law of the jungle, right? King says, growing up, Kasasu was one of my favorites. I like Kasasu. MBT Boxing says Kasasu was our GOAT. All right. Big fan of Kasasu myself. Mr. Doc, Ali beat heavyweight champions that were gold medalists 4 years. Frazier, 8 years. Foreman, and 12 years. Leon Spinks. After the Olympics, Ali won his gold medal win. All right. Mr. Doc says, what weight class did Floyd do that in? Hey, he says. Mr. Boxing today, he says to me, do you have any Marquez versus Barrera fight party stories? All right, I could tell you something about that in a little bit. Mr. Doc says DStyle has a party anytime anything happens, bad happens to Marco Antonio Barrera. Empathy Boxing, if you watch Floyd's entire career in slow motion, is 41-6-3. Slow motion. Okay, Mr. Doc says, yeah, slow motion. I didn't even have a winning record. What are you watching in black and white? Great Jack, what's your favorite color, Floyd Mayweather? I made smart investments, and I made a total of $1.1 billion. To answer your question, I like this. I like green, because that's the money I carry, because cash gets the job done better. All right. To answer your question, Mr. Boxing today, I did not go to a fight party for Marquez versus Barrera. I actually watched the fight with my grandfather, right? So I ordered the pay-per-view. My grandfather did come to my house, and then we watched the fight. It was a great fight. It was the right decision. I don't think Barrera won any rounds. I don't even remember Barrera landing anything other than that despicable, dirty, punch that he landed while Marquez slipped, and had a knee in the ground. And Barrera hit him while he was down, because that's what pieces of shit fighters do, right? That's what you come to expect of a piece of shit fighter. A dirty fighter like Marco Antonio Barrera, who has no respect for the rules, and that, that's all I got to say about that. Is that a fair assessment, or did I give a fair assessment of the fight? I think I gave a fair assessment of the fight. All right. Mr. Boxing today says LOL. All right. James Chavez Morales was the Mexican killer, beating Junior Jones and Pacquiao. All right. The dirty punch after Juan Manuel Marquez slipped. Yeah. That was some dirty ass shit right there. All right. Morales, man, I'll tell you what. I think it's, in my opinion, and I'm not just saying this, in all seriousness, I'm not just saying because he's my favorite fighter of all time, but he's definitely underrated. He's most definitely one of the most underrated fighters out of Mexico ever. I don't think people understand how good Morales was in his prime. I don't think they understand. But if an old, fat, love handle wearing, 4 or 5 weight classes above his weight class when he was in his prime, Morales, can take a young world champion like Danny Garcia, to the limit, okay, almost even beat him in the first fight, and arguably beat Maidana in their fight. These were welterweight fights. Although I think the Maidana fight was at 140, though. But I think. But either way, just imagine what he could have done in his prime. You know, like that. I don't think people. If you put it in perspective, I think you'll have a pretty clear idea. Really. Like, let me put it this way. There's no way Danny Garcia, okay, old as fuck with love handles, is going to be fighting dudes at light heavyweight, okay, years from now, and taking them to the limit. It's not going to happen because he's not that good. And when Morales showed flashes in that Maidana fight and that Garcia fight, especially the first one mostly, he was done by the second fight for sure, but he was counting these guys. He was making them look stupid. The so-called new generation, and they're better than ever, and he was clowning them, right? I mean, they couldn't pick up his timing. He was counter-punching them. He was jabbing the fuck out of them. And then, of course, I mean, his reflexes weren't there anymore, and he was slower, and so that's the only reason it was even a fight. And all bullshit aside, that's just the reality. This is a Danny Garcia that was coming off of knocking out Khan in 2 rounds. Now, knocking out Khan nowadays ain't that impressive. Like, I get that, right? Like, because Khan's getting knocked out all the time. But look how long it took Canelo to knock out Khan. You know, so I'm just saying. You know what I like? I like Khan. You know, how he gets so excited. You know, like when he talks about all the fights he could get in now, and he signed with Eddie Hearn, and you know, I know you guys heard he was all excited that they were going to do a highlight reel of Amir Khan knockouts, right? But they didn't tell Amir Khan about all the times he got knocked out. Okay, because you could do a highlight reel on that shit. Okay, you really can. That's pretty fair and a balanced assessment is boxing today. All right, Blood Boxer says Morales straight heat. Great track. Yeah, I watched almost every Morales fight. He definitely beat a lot of great fighters. Marlenius says Marcus smashed on all those guys, Manny included. Well, he never fought Morales. Mr. Doc arguably beat Maidana with one eye. That's the other thing. His eye was fucked up for most of the fight. And I completely forgot about that. So thanks, Mr. Doc, for reminding me about that. Mr. Boxing Today, did you guys like the Cabral versus Gonzalez fights? Yeah, great fights. Mr. Blood Boxing says, yeah, but sports technology tells me Garcia is better. Oh, okay. Great trick. The way Morales showboated at Maidana and missed those wild shots was funny as fuck. Yeah, put it on the show. He even did it to Garcia. Garcia was doing those wide punches, and then he like mocked it, like he like did it in slow motion, kind of, and then he made him miss again. It was a thing of beauty, but you know, he couldn't keep that up. I mean, that was probably a mistake, to be honest with you, but nonetheless. All right, how about like Morales versus Barrera, says Mr. Boxing Today? That's the right answer, especially on this channel. All right, Marlene says Morales was more scientific. Yes, he was, Mr. Boxing, but I thought Marquez was better than both. That's fair, but I disagree, but that's fair. I just disagree. Marlene says Barrera was too stiff, in my opinion. Hey, Jamie Chavez, remember when Barrera socked Morales at the press conference? Don't get me started, bro. Melendez Barrera was legit, but Manny embarrassed him. Look, here's my thing, right? I remember when HBO, and I know I've talked about this shit a million times, but fuck it. When HBO was like acting like Morales had this hate from who knows where, right? They were making it seem like, oh, it was just. They literally say, I remember Jim Lampley saying, well, it's clear to us that, Morales doesn't really like, Barrera because, he doesn't like the fact that he comes from the rich side of Mexico. What? It's not true. That is the dumbest, and a lot of people believe that because that's what HBO told them. That's not true. We didn't hate Barrera because he thought Barrera was a stuck-up, dude from Mexico City that had money. Like that's not true. That's the dumbest thing. That is the dumbest, laziest assessment ever, right? He didn't like Barrera because Barrera looked down on him, and he called him an Indio. He called him an Indian. Like if Barrera looks like so white or some shit. But like, okay, right? That's number one. Second, right? He sucker punched him in the face. You're not going to like somebody, okay? Nobody listening to this is saying, oh, I would totally be okay with a dude that just sucker punches me in the face. He sucker punched him in the face, okay, at a press conference when they had like 3-piece suits on. And everybody, and then HBO sold people this, and that's what they did. They sold the narrative. It wasn't true. Oh, he doesn't like him because, he comes from the rich side of town. Like, what? It's not true. Like, what? Like, okay, Morales just hated him because, he had a lot of money, supposedly. Okay. Like, what? That's stupid, man. Like, what's, like a lot of, like, it's, people forget, the pretty bigoted shit that Barrera, HBO never brought that up. They never brought up the bigoted shit that Barrera, would tell Morales. Why? Because HBO, they did a little bit of sports entertainment in that fight. They did. They presented Morales as the bad guy and Barrera as a good guy. But Barrera's just a, innocent guy that just hated on, just because he was born in a more fortunate family and that's why Morales hates him. That's not even true. Like that's stupid. That's the dumbest assessment ever. And HBO sold it to people. And people bought it. And at the end of the day, they didn't even have to sell shit, man. The fight sold itself. Okay? They didn't have to sell people this bogus shit. The fight sold itself. Okay? By the way, I want to mention the workplace, but at my job, and I told this story before, somebody booked Barrera and Morales to show up to sign, to sign stuff like posters or whatever, or gloves or whatever people wanted signed. Right? It was like a meet or greet, and at the workplace there was a big kind of company break room. It was almost the size of a cafeteria. It was big, and there was a small break room, right, where you could fit like maybe 30 people at the most, maybe less than that, probably like 20 people. But anyway, I guess the person that booked this had no idea that these two dudes hated each other, none, right, and booked them at the same time, right. So Barrera showed up first, and he was in the big break room. So he was signing. Morales showed up. He saw Barrera there, and I guess he asked, "Is he done?" Because he didn't want to be in the same room as him. Even though it's a big ass room. I mean, shit. But but he didn't want to be in the same vicinity as him. And so I said, "Well, I'm gonna leave." And I guess they told him, "Well, no, we have another break room." And I guess when Morales saw the small break room, he said, "No, I ain't going to do this," because he didn't want to be in a smaller break room signing autographs than Barrera, who's in the big-ass break room. I mean, it's just that's how much these hated each other, right? Let me see here. Where was I? That was very strange. Bo versus Donald Styles is Buster Boxing today. Barrera was legit. Manny embarrassed him. Yeah, I remember that Morales ate that shot like it was nothing. Okay, Gorguruga, Khan practically retired Barrera. Right, there you go. Yeah, Barrera lost to Khan, bro. How embarrassing, right? MT says Barrera could only compete with Pacquiao if Pacquiao doesn't have his clear. All right, to Great Drank. Yeah, I remember that HBO built fake narratives all the time. You know what? I'll never forget this. Like, I remember this vividly. I don't remember. I think it was the second fight, Barrera versus Morales. I think it was the second fight. I could be wrong, but Morales is walking out, right? And Larry Merchant goes, "Oh yeah, these Mexicans, they're so competitive, over there in Mexico. They just compete about everything, fighting and that I can do this better than you. I can eat more chili than you, and I was just like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like like Mexicans get together and just have competitions on who can eat more jalapenos. Like what? I don't know. I've never been in those competitions. Like, but what an ignorant thing to say, though. Like, what? That's crazy. Like, what? It is insane. Like some of the things that Larry Merchant got away with, like insane. It really is. Marlene is Barrera, Manny, Marquez, Morales, all great. Too bad Morales and Marquez didn't squab. I agree. The fight should have happened. That way, Morales would have won, and we wouldn't have dudes like Mr. Boxing today saying that he thinks that Marquez is better. And by the way, I'm glad people brought that up. Is that not a shame? Is it or is it not a shame that, like, in all seriousness, that Morales and Marquez never fought? Because now we'll never know. We have our opinions, right? But we don't know. And that's why, like Marquez, Morales were the featherweight version of Bo Lewis. That's, pretty close. Pretty close analogy, I think. They were the Bo Lewis, although I don't think anybody threw a belt in the trash. Okay? But I don't think anybody vacated a title or anything like that. But nonetheless, it was the fight of that division that had to happen, and it didn't happen. And it's a shame that it didn't happen. I wish the fight would have happened. Like if I could go back in time, even if Marquez would have won, that's fine. But I would rather the fight have happened. Mr. Boxing today says, I lost a bet on Hamed versus Barrera. Barrera took him to school and roughed him up along the way. Hey, Mr. Boxing today, you remember Jim Lampley's anti Allah rant? And I don't remember exactly what he was saying. Like, he was just blabbering like incoherently, but like, he said he believed in Allah, and well, Barrera showed him that where is Allah now? Or, I don't remember what the fuck he said, but I remember Foreman. I forgot what Foreman told him, but he didn't say it, but without saying, he said, "Okay, you need to shut the fuck up, bro." Like, I don't know why you're bringing that up. All right, I forgot what Foreman told him, but like I remember that shit. Kruger, Lewis loved Tyson for using his leg as an all-you-can-eat buffet. Oh, I forgot about that. It's crazy how you just forget shit. Yeah, when they were at the stage and the Tyson just walked out of the fucking. They were on these like they were both like on a podium, and the podium had like this lighting, right? And they were supposed to pose for pictures, but fucking Tyson just, I guess he looked at Lewis and said, "Well, what?" And he just got off the podium, and everybody kind of jumped on stage. It's hard to see. I remember Lewis throwing punches, and apparently he bit Lewis's leg. I mean, like a fucking pit bull, bro. Like, Tyson in a street fight is some scary shit, bro. Like, I'll tell you right now, I could picture this dude biting somebody's nose off, man. Like it's crazy. All right, Tyson in a street fight is a scary thought. It honestly is. All right. Grave track. Barrera caught Hearn slipping, in my opinion. He didn't train well for that fight. Oh, Hamed. I said Hearns. I apologize, guys. I read that wrong. But Barrera caught Hamed slipping. Well, you know, that's Hamed's fault, man. You know what I mean? And then, you know, he could have, you know, picked himself up with the bootstraps and asked for a rematch. He didn't do that. So what are you going to do? Hamed trained at a mansion. You can see that, Doc. Oh, Hamed was doing that Chavez Jr. training, right? Everybody watched that 24/7 where Chavez, like, well, first of all, I've said this one a million times, but when he wakes up in his, like, pink underwear, right? And Chavez Sr. is, like, studying tape. You know, like, he's even shadow boxing while he's watching the fucking laptop. Like he's like, oh, son, like, oh, I saw some openings on Martinez, and he interrupts his dad. He interrupts, like, the fucking arguably the best Mexican fighter of all time. He interrupts him in the middle, like, just tells him to shut up and tells him that I know, right? I know this, I got this. Yeah, he showed you how he had it in the fight, right? Like, right, yeah, you had it, bro. Okay, but anyway. I remember when he, like, literally just would move the furniture and get one of his buddies to hold the mitts. A dude that did not know what to do with the mitts. He just told him to hold him there, and he would just punch him. It would, man, then they would show, like, they would cut over to like Freddie Roach waiting for the dude to show up, man. Like, you know, he's like, where the fuck's this kid? Like, he's at his house, bro. Like, he just moved the furniture. Like, he's having his buddy hold shit. And then I remember the other scene, man. Holy shit. He like, they're showing Martinez, like on his bike and, like, doing all this crazy training, right? And then they zoom over to Chavez. Like, they're doing a carne asada. Okay, like, they're grilling meat, bro. That they're grilling the meat, and and you have, like, people just clapping, like, with beers in their hands. So they're really, like, clapping the palm of their hand to their wrist, or either like this, holding a fucking beer bottle, while Chavez is, like, just talking shit, like, hitting the mitts. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, what are you doing, bro? Anyway, so I imagine it's the type of training Hamed did, right? Here's another hilarious part about that 24/7. Like, I remember, and fighters do this all the time, and I've always found it so stupid. This is just me, but Floyd's done it too. But it's funny because Chavez is running at night, right? It's like 3 a.m. Like, he's running. You know, they only show him running, like, for like 2 minutes, but like, and then he's up breathing all hard. He's like, Chavez Jr. goes, right now, Sergio Martinez is sleeping right now. I'm working. Sergio Martinez is sleeping. Really, bro? The first thing that was in my mind was, well, no shit, he's sleeping. It's 3 a.m. Like, what? He gets up in the morning to train. What do you mean? Like, this whole, like, well, while he's sleeping, I'm training. I feel like I have the advantage. Like, what? You gotta sleep at some point too. Like, well, what if he's working out while you're sleeping? Like, it's 3 a.m. Only NBT is up at 3 a.m. because he's in Australia. That's it. Because it's like 5 p.m. over there or some shit. Right? Other than that, you're the only idiot running at 4 a.m. because you wake up at fucking, 3 p.m. What? When you were sleeping in your pink underwear, Sergio Martinez was working out. Anyway, I've always laughed at that, man. This whole, like, I'm working while they're sleeping. Like, what? Okay, right. It gives me an advantage. And I thought behind here. Let's see. Grape drank. So is it true that Morales beat up Floyd in Spartan a long time ago? I don't know about that. I never heard anything about that, to be honest. And so I can't say that. What I will say is that Morales, I did not personally go to this, but he fought at the El Paso County Coliseum. He was a headliner. Mayweather was on the undercard of that. So whoever saw that, I mean, they got to see a young Floyd Mayweather, a Morales headlining. So fun fact there. Gorgo Hamed was way past his prime and not dedicated to training so much. Emmanuel Stewart left him. Oh, no longer with him. Interesting. Jamie Chavez Barrera was a real dirty bastard, putting Hamed in a full Nelson. Right? Like, he was doing like MMA moves and shit. It was. And I remember he was getting praised for it. I'm like, bro, that's like an illegal move. Like, what? He like grabbed them in like a wrestling, like a kind of like a wrestling hold, and he like pushed them against the top rope. What? What is this? What? Like, what was next? I was waiting for the DDT, bro. Like what's going on here? All right. So I know a lot of people didn't like him, but HBO is always praising Barrera, his performance, which is fine. Look, it was a great performance, but don't praise the illegal tactics, right? Mr. Boxing says to Marlenius, agreed. One of those fights that seemed no-brainer to take place but never happened. Holmes versus Foreman. Marlenius, he ran Hamed. I keep saying Hearns because the R, it looks like an R and an N, but for some reason on my phone, but it's Hamed. He ran Hamed into a turnbuckle, WWE style. Yeah, Hamed, he didn't turn. You're supposed to turn your back, Hamed, right? And Barrera, you're supposed to let him go when you throw him against the turnbuckle. You're doing it wrong. But yeah, it was WWF style. Martinez, I think Holmes might have taken it. Jap Foreman's head up. By the way, Larry Holmes, let me tell you something. Randy Orton has nothing on Larry Holmes, okay? Larry Holmes' drop kick off the top of that car was one of the best drop kicks I've ever seen, bro. Like, I'm surprised. Like, they never done that spot in WWE that I could think of. Like, but anyway, that was some good shit. Bloodboxing says LOL. Bloodboxing, but the style Marcus is better. Martinez Marcus is the best of that lot. Well, people say that, but okay, all right. Gorguruga Barrera pretty much humiliated Hamed in that fight, but Hamed humiliated himself by losing his dedication for training and getting in the ring with a G like Barrera. Look, man, training is part of fighting, right? If you don't train, that's on you, right? You want to do the Chavez Jr. style training, that's on you. What I got, Mr. Boss today, Holmes or Foreman? Well, I got Holmes personally. Great jab. Jamie Chavez Barrera also sucker punched Pacquiao in their first fight. Did he? Sounds Barrera-ish. Great drink. George Foreman got pissed. Bro, in the 76, prime Holmes, late 70s, early 80s. All right, Gorguruga, Floyd sucker punch Ortiz, though, but kind of understandable because of the headbutts. Well, it's not really a sucker punch. I mean, the ref said box. The ref said box. Protect yourself at all times. I favor Holmes to beat Foreman no matter when they fought. It's an interesting fight, though, man. I'm not like, even though I think Holmes might win, I don't know, man. It's one of those things that I have to see. Cruzito G Morales Marquez is the equivalent of Durant Chavez. We'll just never know who was better. I don't know if we could call it an equivalent because Chavez and Duran did not fight in the same era, technically. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Duran was fighting when Chavez was fighting too, but Duran was way past those divisions already. You know what I mean? He was way past his prime. All right, Marlena's B2 Holmes jab was a weapon, one of those best jabs ever. Great jab. Mr. Doc, Holmes helped Ali prepare for Foreman. He was always ultra confident he could beat Foreman. Marlenius, people thought Foreman was going to kill Ali. Mr. Box today, hands down, one of the best. Ironically, Big George had an underrated jab. Hey, that's true. Mr. Doc, Marlenius, they did, but Holmes wasn't one of them. 6 p.m. actually. 6 p.m., not 5 p.m. MBT. I gotcha. Mr. Box today, especially Foreman's jab on his comeback. Oh, we got a Foreman versus Holmes discussion going on. That's actually out of all the dream fights I've heard of heavyweight, I've never heard that one for some reason. I always hear, Tyson and Ali, obviously. That's the most popular one people bring up. But I've never heard of that one. That is an interesting matchup. It really is. I think it's a lot tougher to call than some people have put in the chat, but I would favor Holmes myself. Especially Foreman's jab on his comeback. Marlenius, Big George was a street fighter. Imagine fighting George in an alley. Better hope someone is around to break it up. NBT boxing, and it's 92 degrees over here. Holy shit. That's pretty hot for this time of year. But then again, you're over there down under. Marlenius, who do you got, Ortiz or Wilder? I got Wilder. Famous drop kick off the limo. That's right. Mr. Bot today, the drop kick on Burbick. Holmes drop kicking Trevor Burbick. Damn, he beat me to it, says Mr. Doc. Man, that drop kick, bro, was on point. That thing was on point. Like, great delivery, everything. Great timing. Unbelievable timing. David Child, remember when Lennox Lewis and Asim Rockman started fighting on ESPN? Am I the only one? I remember seeing that. It looked fake to me. Like, I'm not saying it was fake. It looked like a work, I should say. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it didn't seem legitimate to me. I think they were trying to sell the fight. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It's about to say, bro, do you know how angry you have to be to even attempt to drop kick off the car onto concrete? That's why I say, bro, like Randy Orton, who's known for having an unbelievable drop kick, has nothing on fucking Larry Holmes. They would not do it. Like, they'll do it in the ring. They'll do it off the top turnbuckle because they're going to land on that fucking mat, but they wouldn't do it landing on fucking concrete. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, Burbick wasn't a welcome guest. All right, Floyd and Connor had gay ritualistic sex for Freemasons. Interesting. Marlenius said that shit had me dying. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, bro. Like, I don't know. King. Mr. Doc, great track. I do believe that would be a troll. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Don't say something like that anymore. With that said, guys, got any questions really quick before I roll out? If you're watching right now, do me a favor, thumbs up the video, right? See about what is it, 21 of you live right now? Thumbs up the video, right? What do you guys think of Chavez Jr., man? His workouts. Let's see. Peace out, gentlemen. This is NBT Boxing. Peace out. Peterson versus Spence. That's such a hard fight to pick, bro. I don't know who I'm going to pick for that fight, bro. I mean, it's so tough. I think Spence is going to win, but Peterson's going to bring it, man. I think it's going to be competitive for about 4 or 5 rounds, I think. All right. All right, MBT's Boxing says he thumbs it up. He said, peace out. All right, MBT Boxing, peace out, bro. Mr. Boxing Today, what are your thoughts on Wilder versus Ortiz and AJ versus Parker? Great fights, man. Great fights. I got Wilder beating Ortiz. I told people I'm not that impressed with Ortiz. Okay, look, I'm not saying he's a bad fighter or anything. I just don't think he's as good as some people make him out to be. I got Wilder knocking him out, to be honest. Probably late in the fight, but I think he'll stop him. And then Parker versus Joshua. At first, I said, "Oh, that's an easy win for Joshua," but the more I thought about it, I think it's going to be a tough fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. I really do. I got Joshua winning, but Parker's hand speed, I think, can give Joshua some trouble. Right? That's what I think. I think it's going to be a good fight. Parker is a live dog in that fight. Like he can pull it off. I think. Again, at first, I thought, but I've changed my mind about that. Peace out, Prodigy, Marlenius. Joshua's a mummy. I don't know about that. I wouldn't say that. Okay, Mr. Boss, today I got Wilder late KO and AJ by decision over Parker. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. I concur. Right? Anyways, guys, just getting all the fights Wilder wants. Well, I don't mind the Ortiz fight, and hopefully, if everything goes the way I think it's going to go, hopefully AJ Wilder fight at the end of the year, or we might get Wilder versus Parker at the end of the year. Or could you imagine, what if Ortiz wins? And what if Parker wins? I guess you could still do Joshua versus Wilder, but it just won't be for titles anymore, but I guess you could still do it. But could you imagine if that were to happen? I don't think it's going to happen, but could you just imagine? With that said, this is DStyleBoxing. Ortiz with a Cuban skull, says Marlenius. Yeah, man. Like. Okay, well, why is he gonna be Wilder? Oh, bro, he's from the Cuban school of boxing, bro. What does that mean? Like, yeah, he's from Cuba. Boxing. I get it. Okay. But like when they like just saying he comes from the Cuban school of boxing, like it's not that I don't know what you mean. What I'm saying is, okay, how does that explain how he's going to win? It doesn't. Anyway, with that said, I'm out, guys. This is DStyleBoxing. Keep it boxing. I'm out.